Hello, my friends. This is Bobby D coming to you from Lambon, Cebu, Philippines. Hey, today, I want to say for those of you that are here for the first time, you click on the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you continue receiving fresh, new Philippine videos, motivational videos, and worldwide videos. Now, when you talk about Philippines, you understand, this is a country where people come and they have to get themselves involved with Filipinas. And basically, Filipinos are from a different culture than most of the people that come here as foreigners to visit them and to relate with them. So today we're going to take a look at what is cultural difference in the Philippines. What is cultural differences and why you should care in the Philippines. Yeah. Ooh, what a joy, such a joy to come back to you again, my friends. And today we're going to take a look at the cultural differences of the Filipinos and why it's important that if you're dating a Filipino, that you need to be aware of it, those differences. Because the differences in culture are very, very significant in some circumstances to your relationship with the Filipino, especially if you're coming from a foreign country, you don't know the culture. What's up? What's up? Whistle wonderful world. Right. Good to have you here. So it's important that you understand what the cultural significance that the Filipino has as compared to your particular culture. Because if you don't, you're going to wind up in serious trouble with your relationship. If you don't take the time to understand what is the cultural differences, how you have to relate to the Filipino, because of it, you're going to have a problem with your relationship. First of all, let's talk about what is cultural differences, okay? Basically, it's cultural difference is the difference between a person's ethnic background, their language, their origin, the practices, their beliefs, etc., from one person to another. Basically, that's all it is. How you, in short, in colloquial terms, how and where you were raised. That's all it is. And if you're raised in a different setting from that person, if you're raised in a different culture, a different country, then that is called, you have a cultural what? Difference. Okay? That's all it is. Now, cultural difference and cultural diversity are very close. Cultural diversity is an outgrowth of differences. Cultural diversity is a subset of people that are from different cultures, multiple subsets of people that are from different cultures that are in one area. For example, in the United States. The United States is a very cultural, diverse nation. Yeah. What's going on, Andy? Wizzle. Good to have y'all here with me. Culture diversity is what the United States is made up of. We have a whole lot of people here from different ethnic backgrounds, different racial backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, economic, a whole lot of different cultural diversity in the United States. And the problem with that is, as you know, a lot of times the problem, and this is a big elephant in the room, a lot of people want to wipe out those cultural differences. Bobby J, what's up, man? A lot of people want to wipe out those cultural differences in the United States. They don't want a lot of cultural diversity. They want one culture. They want a monoculture, one culture. They want to take it back to the way it was back in the day. And people in the United States is fighting against it. They're not having it. They don't want to go backwards in time, but people there's groups in the United States that believe that one culture is the way, and that's the only way. But truth be told, that's one of the worst ways. Because when you have a cultural diverse background and cultural diverse country, nation, it makes everybody stronger because we learn from each other and we grow together to strengthen our common ground, strengthen our common nation. So cultural diversity and cultural differences are very, very important. If you guys are relating to a Filipina in the Philippines, you talking to her on a one-on-one, day in, day out basis, guys, please take the time to learn some parts of that Filipino's background, some parts of that Filipino's culture. If you do not take the time to learn it, you're going to be finding up that you're going to be taking the time to burn it. Yeah, because your relationship going to be burned, baby, burn. That's what's going to happen. You're burning it down to the ground, don't even know it. Because when you relate to that Filipina and you don't understand their cultural background, it's going to be what? A miscommunication. You're going to be all over the place. She's going to be here, right here, and you're here. Why is she doing it? That's why a lot of you guys have trouble with tempo. Yeah, you guys have trouble with tempo. I mastered that tempo thing years ago. When I first found out about tempo, and for those of you that are tuning in and don't know what tempo is when a Filipina asks, give you the silent treatment and don't want to talk to you. She want to just, you say, hi, honey, how you doing? She look at you like this. Or she might only look at you, just give you the silent treatment. Act like a kid. That's what tempo is. And they do that a lot, man, when they get upset about something because they don't know how to express themselves. You see? And when you understand that, when you have a knowledge of that, you won't get one of these. Well, you can't talk to me. What's wrong with you? And use the B word and all. You better. I'm the one room paying the bills on it. You better. Crazy stuff we do, all because we have a lack of what? Knowledge and what? Understanding. Guys, telling you, man, take the time, make the time, break the time to understand the cultural difference of your Filipino. Now, guess what, guys? It's a two-way street. Yeah, it's a two-way street. Not only must you take the time, but she got to take the time too. Yeah. You can't just say, well, I'll take time to learn your stuff, man. But I'm sorry, I didn't know that. But she got to do the same thing. And what I found out, y'all, this is my personal experience. What I found out, I took the time, all the time to learn stuff about the Philippines. But the Filipinos, they don't want to take the time to learn about Americans. Yeah, they don't want to learn about your culture. And that was like, okay, look, I understand your culture, but we gotta meet in the middle somewhere here. You gotta learn some stuff about my culture. You want me to learn everything about your culture? I understand you. Yeah, I understand your culture. I'm a man. I take the initiative. I'll learn about your culture. But look here, sweetheart. You got to understand, it's two of us here. It's just not you. It's two. You got to learn something about my culture. I'm not just going to bend all of my rules just for you, and you don't bend nothing for me. That's unbalanced. So both of you guys need to take the time, make the time, break the time. Yeah, to understand the cultural differences that you hold between each other. Because when you bridge the gap of the cultural differences, then you become what? Closer, stronger, strengthened as a what? Couple. Yeah. When you never take the time to bridge that gap, that's a gap there, right? That's a gap. When you never take the time to bridge that gap, you got a gap full of problems in your relationship. It's loosey-goosey, up and down. That's where it's going, up and down. One day she hates you. One day you hate her. Next day you love her. Next day you hate her. And and next thing you know, bam, you out of here. Okay? Because you don't take the time. You don't make the, and it's not just one of you. Both of you have to do it. Okay? And the Filipinos are lazy about it, man. I'm serious. You got to stay on this. Listen, you have to learn my culture, man. I'm taking the time to learn yours. Can you please do me the favor of learning some things about my culture as well? You have to push them because they set in their way. They just want, you have to learn my culture. That's some part of my culture. And I'll learn your culture, but you gotta take a reciprocal action. Learn mine as well. Respect me, baby girl, and I respect you as well. Respect my culture, baby girl, and I respect your culture as well. That's how you have to deal with it. And when you both understand and have a significant understanding of each other's cultural background and cultural differences, that's half of the battle. Half of the battle. Now, the good thing about it is that Filipinos, most of them, speak what? English. For you guys that are speaking English out there, and I have a lot of various other countries to watch, but we're going to just limit it to English. It's very good that they speak English or some form of it, maybe broken English, but you can communicate. And sometimes even the fact that they speak English can be a cultural difference because they speak Sometimes if they're in Manila or Luzon, they speak Taglish. You know what Taglish is, right? If you don't, I'm gonna break it down to you. They speak, the national language, one of the national language of the Philippines is Tagalog. Tagalog. And there's two national languages. First one is Tagalog. The second one is English. Okay. So a lot of the Filipinos in Luzon speak Taglish. It's a combination of both English and Tagalog. And sometimes they'll be saying like, ako si Bobby, and what is your name? That's a combination of Tagalog and a combination of English, both together. And so they understand forms of English, but they don't understand, a lot of them, because they're taught English in school, but they don't read. When you don't use something, what happens? You lose it. So you have to understand communication is very, very important. Now tomorrow, I'm going to break down some other things on this today. But tomorrow is where I'm going to really dive deep into your relationship with the Filipina, how you need to speak to them in order for them to understand you, how they need to speak to you in order for you to understand them. I'm going to break that down tomorrow. And there's two areas in that we have a tendency to neglect. And one of the areas in there is called verbal communication. And the second area that we tend to neglect is called non-verbal communication. I'm going to break down those two things to you tomorrow. So stay tuned for tomorrow's show. Verbal communication is okay. But guess what, guys? Non-verbal communication is highly, highly more important than verbal. And I'm going to show you that tomorrow, but let's continue with this show for right now. But tomorrow's show, stay tuned for that. So it is important that you understand the cultural differences between you and your Filipina. Take the time to learn and understand where she's coming from, her background. I'll tell you one particular example between me and Melissa D. When we got married and everything, we started living together, and she would say, go upstairs and bring me the rug. I'm washing clothes. Go upstairs and bring me the rug. So I heard her, she said, go upstairs and bring the rug, right? In the bathroom. I go upstairs, bring the rug in the bathroom. And I come down there. She said, what is this? I said, it's the rug in the bathroom. You have me to bring it to you. She said, this is not it. I said, what do you mean? There's only one rug in the bathroom. This is it. She said, no, I want the rug in the bathroom. I said, this is the rug in the bathroom. What are you talking about, lady? Came to find out. I said, spell what you're talking about. She said, R-A-G. Rug. She was saying rag. It's rag, but she was pronouncing it rug. Okay? She wanted the rag on the rack. So she put it in the clothes, dirty clothes, to wash it. I said, girl, what are you talking about? That's rag. That's pronounced rag. But see, in their culture, there is no short A sound for a, okay? Like rag, apple, A for apple, a. There's no short A sound. They only have like There's no short vowel sound. There's only the A or So, and her pronunciation is rug. R-A-G. She pronounced rag, the word rag, as rug. And that was a huge, and she still hasn't gotten over that to this day. Guys, we've been married 4 years, and she hadn't gotten over that. And she still pronounced rug, rag, the word R-A-G. Ooh, sorry. Sorry. Sorry about that. I just lost connection. Still pronounce the word. She still. Damn. Excuse me. Technical difficulties. I do. Now I got to sit up here, and the thing just jumped out of here. Going on with it. I got to straighten out now. But yeah, she still pronounced that word. She pronounced R-A-G, rag, as rug to this day. And I, for the life of me, I can never get her out of it. So those are just a brief few things that you should watch out for in understanding the cultural differences. Because when you understand the cultural differences, it can solve a lot of problems. It can prevent a lot of problems in your relationship. And again, tomorrow we're going to talk about communication, which is verbal and nonverbal. And as I mentioned, nonverbal is the most important. Now, let's take a look at some examples of cultural diversity throughout the world. In Thailand, okay? In Thailand, one of the things that's most important to every Thai person is their head and their feet. It's like sacred. So if you go to Thailand, never touch anybody's head. That's highly, highly what offensive. It is because they're what? Cultural differences. They're raised that no one should touch your head, no one should touch your feet because those are sacred parts of their body. Okay? If you go to Japan, okay, you sitting down, you waiting on your food or whatever in the restaurant, whatever, wherever you are, and you just take your legs. You know, some people just take their legs and you might just shake it to the side while you're waiting. You know, just like a nervous twitch, so to speak. If you do that in Japan, that's a sign that you want to do the wow thing. Yeah, if you shake your leg and you're sitting down in the doctor's office or you're sitting down in a restaurant and somebody noticed that, that's a sign that you're trying to indicate to them that you're ready to do the, so you have to know the cultural differences between whatever country you go to. You should take the time, make the time, break the time to understand it. If you go to the Middle East, and if you go to like Africa, and you know, here in the Philippines, one of the things that people do, men do here, often and well as females, is that if you have a real good friend, solid buddy or whatever, they'll hold hands. I mean, it's not the gay thing or nothing like that. They just hold hands as a sign of their strong friendship. Men do it and the women do it too. And I see it all the time. When I first got here, I was like, ooh, they must be gay, you know, because I see guys do. They'll hug each other around the neck, walking down the street, and they'll hold each other hands like that. I said, oh, I used to say to Lisa D, okay, gay boys. No, they're just friendly. I said, what? She said, that's how they do. She said, that's how we do here. If they like each other, they're buddies, they're friends. She said, they'll hold each other's hands or they'll grab each other around the arm, around, you know, and they'll walk together like that. I said, okay, I didn't know that. See, it's all things you should know when you come to this culture because you'll get the wrong perspective. And that happens a lot. And if you do that, if you do that in the United States or any other country, European countries, they'll think that they'll have a problem with it, in other words, because that's not normally what's seen. If you go to Taiwan, if you go to China, and you're eating in a restaurant, and you do want to eat, oh, loud as you can, you just burp, okay, in your restaurant. Normally in the United States, like, ooh, what's wrong with him? Oh, at least you could say, excuse me, something, man, what's wrong with you? That's what we'll say. But in Taiwan and China, when you burp loud like that, that is what? A compliment to the chef. And you want to do it as loud as you can because the chef, that's you're saying, oh, I really enjoyed that food, man. Oh, that was so good. Yeah, that's how they do. But in the United States, other European countries, we come playing that game about, whoa, doing a big burp. That's a no-no. That's frowned upon. Okay? There's another one. If you go to Germany and you say, you get ready to order some beers. You say, may I have two over here? Yeah, two right here, two. You do like that, 2 fingers? That's cussing them out. That's like a thumbs up with them. Okay, you got it. It's just a culture difference. That's all it is. And you have to understand it. If you go to Singapore, that's a huge one right here. If you go to Singapore and you chew gum, you're going to be in trouble, buddy. I'm serious. Look it up. Google it. If you go to Singapore and chew gum, you're in serious trouble. Because number one, there's a law against it. Number two, they think it's vile. They think it's vulgar. Yeah. And ever since 2004, the Singaporeans have a law against chewing gum in public. Okay? And if you're a tourist that's going to Singapore, you're only allowed 2 packs of gum. If they find more than that, they'll charge you for gum smuggling. Believe it or not, gum smuggling. Gum, G-U-M, not G-U-N, but G-U-M, gum smuggling. Yeah, gum smuggling is a crime in the Philippines, and I mean in Singapore. And the reason why, Andy, what's going on? And the reason why is because in 2000, in the late 90s, they would use gum. People that wanted to disrupt the railway train system, they would use gum to stop the doorways. There's a way you can take gum out of your mouth, stick it in the train doors, and they would stop from opening, okay, or stop from closing, and that was disrupting the train system. Okay, so they ban gum chewing in public, and that's very critical for those of you like to chew gum wherever you go. You know, you gotta read up, guys, wherever you go in this world. If you want to be a world traveler, you gotta understand the rules and know the rules and work within the rules of wherever you go. And it's called the rules of cultural differences. That's all it is. When you don't understand the differences between where you are and where you going or where you going to be in a new different environment, a new different place, you're hurting yourself. Okay. So those are some of the things that cultural differences make up. Now, how do you bridge those gaps between your culture and your Filipinos culture? As I alluded to before, you have to understand the differences. And when you understand the differences, then you can make allowance for her acting the way she's acting. And maybe she can make the allowance for the way you're acting the way you're acting. But when you don't understand each other's culture, when you don't value the culture of your relation of your fiance or girlfriend or spouse, if she's in a different country, you're asking for trouble, guys. It's very, very important that you understand and be aware of the cultural difference. Now, tomorrow, we're going to give you some examples of verbal and nonverbal communication as far as cultural differences are concerned. So it's time for the roll call. Everybody ready for the roll call? Here we go. See who we got in this train today. Wizzle says, I like your style, Bobby D. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Appreciate that. Andy, what's happening, Big Andy? Andy's out there. Bobby J, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you, sir? Doing good, dude. Doing good. Good to have you with me, Andy. Exactly, Bobby. They don't know how to express themselves in English. A lot of times, Filipinos don't know how to express themselves in English, and that's true. And because of that, when they don't try, because English to a lot of Filipinos are very hard for them to speak in that language. They're more comfortable speaking in their own native tongue. Just like me. My native tongue is English, but I speak Spanish as well as Cebuano. You know, I can speak Spanish better than I can Cebuano, and I can speak English better than I can Cebuano and Spanish. So I'm very comfortable in my native tongue. But I can go outside. I can go outside my comfort zone if I have to speak Spanish. I can go outside my comfort zone if I have to speak Cebuano. So yeah, everybody's comfortable with their native tongue. And so when they have to speak a different language, they like freeze up, or they like, because they don't do it a lot. Now, when people marry the Filipino, they take them to the U.S. or other English-speaking countries, then they have to speak English, because if they don't, they won't be able to communicate. And that's when they become more comfortable with the English language. I know a lady that she's been married for 25 years to American. She's been away from the country, from the Philippines, for a long time. And then she came back and she was like, oh, I have to get accustomed to the language again, because she'd already gotten accustomed to English, you know. And when she came back, she had to adjust to Cebuano. Okay. So yeah, it's important to understand that everybody's comfortable with their native tongue. Okay. All right, let me see where I left off. I'm gonna get everybody's question, but I'm gonna go back where I left off. Okay. Roberto, what's going on, man? Window, what's up? Okay, Big B, I got your question. He said, any advice for a first-time expat Osmaz Mindanao? Okay. My advice to you as a first time ever coming to the Philippines and you going to Mindanao, tread lightly, bro. Be careful. Because you're going to a small town in Mindanao. Mindanao is in the south of the nation. I live in the middle of the nation, which is called the Visayas. There's 3 areas of the Philippines, okay? You have the north, which is called Luzon, which is composed of Manila and a whole bunch of other suburban or little towns outside of Manila. Then you got Visayas, which is Cebu is the main thing here. And you got a whole lot of other, like Bohol and stuff like that. Then you got Mindanao. That's where the south. And that's where a lot of the rebels and so forth are. Now, I'm not saying where you're going is going to be dangerous. Now, Probably not, because there's not a whole lot of rebel activity right now. But just be careful when you go there. They're more than likely you're going to be going to a small town, and in small towns, in in the Philippines, most of them have not seen an African American, or if they have seen them, it's on TV or on the internet, or if they have seen them in person, it's very few. So you're going to get a lot of looks. Okay, don't be intimidated, because it's not like a look they want to hurt you or beat you up, that kind of stuff. Don't be afraid about that. It's a look of curiosity. Okay, they're going to stare you down. The Filipinos are very, very curious people, and when their curiosity flares up, they're going to do up and down, and they talk to their friend, they'll be make a joke, yeah, and they'll point at you like that. Don't let that bother you, man. It's just like they haven't seen a lot of African Americans out there, and so they react accordingly. When you go to a small town in Mindanao, be on observant at all times, because you never know when somebody might act a fool, want to try to jump you or whatever. They always go out with people you know, and don't go out by yourself unless you have to. You know, stay around the hotel as much as possible. You're meeting someone there, always have them meet you in a public place. No crazy places like that. All right, have them meet you at your hotel, and you go from there. But be cautious at all times. You should have a good time. If you're going there to meet a Filipina or your friends or whatever, they're going to make sure that you're safe and that you don't do anything risky as well. So the best thing to do, well, also if you come to the Philippines, you want to dress appropriately as well. You want to bring your short sleeve shirt and your short pants as necessary, because it's going to be hot. You're going to be hot, man. You're going to be hot, and the weather is going to be humid, depending on when you're coming. And so you want to dress appropriately, and you want to make sure that you're comfortable at all. Now, when you bring your clothes, don't pack for, I don't know, you might stay a week, 10 days. Just pack enough clothes for one outfit a day, okay? Shirt and pants. And then you might just bring 5 pairs. You're planning to stay a week, 5 pairs, 5 different outfits, shirt and pants, okay? Bring a pair of tennis shoes, bring a pair of sandals if you have sandals, and maybe I don't know, right? You may want to do a dress shoe in case you want to go out at night for a restaurant and stuff like that. Also, if you do plan on visiting your girlfriend, you want to make sure that you bring her something, okay? Yeah, be decent, man. Be a good guy. Bring her something. Whether it's chocolates, flowers, it could be a necklace, it could be a watch. Bring her something if you're dating a Filipina, to show your appreciation for the fact that she is your girlfriend, that you're coming to visit her, and that she is responsible for your trip, for your coming out here just to see her. And you got to make her feel like she's your world, okay? That's the listener. I'm coming out here for you, and you alone. You're the only one. And you bring her something to show her, to follow up on that, and you'd be surprised how they respond to you. They'll be like, oh, wow, you brought this for me. And it's just surprise her, Don't tell her you're bringing something. Just surprise her. That's why I used to be, when I dated Lisa D, I would bring stuff all the time. First, I started out bringing chocolates, because that was a thing, And then, guess what? When I started out bringing chocolates, she made me bring chocolates every freaking trip. I had a little bag every time I would go to Walmart, Sam's, and fill it up with chocolates. And so that was one thing I used to bring. Then one time I brought her a laptop. She was, whoa, man. You talking about somebody was happy? I bought her a brand new laptop. She was like, wow. And she needed one, though. She needed one. So I didn't have a problem with it. Hers had went out on her. And I said, man, she had to go to the internet cafe to do this, do that. So I'm tired of this. But I didn't tell her I was going to buy one. I surprised her. And, man, she was so happy. She was so happy. Then I would bring her, like, necklace, stuff like that. Little small tokens. But yeah, if you are dating a Filipina, you want to show her that you are the man, okay? And be a man. Don't be I was going to say a bad word, but don't be weak. Be strong as a man, okay? And show her that your manliness by doing things that a man should do, that a gentleman should do for a woman. Impress her with your action and not by your words. Impress her by your deeds. Okay, that's the main thing. Earl Johnson, what's happening? Hey, Earl, I got your message, man. I got your message, and I responded to you. I hope you read that. Earl is dealing with some issues with some Filipinas, with a Filipina, and he was having a fit, trying to understand. The part of this live stream today is response to part of your issue. Earl had an issue about Filipina needing was giving them fits about not being on time to chat with him. She was giving them fits about him associating with people. He told her one time he was getting ready to go to a bar. I'm going to get some food. I'm going to a bar and get some food. Okay. And then she thought, and bar in her mind, that's what I'm saying. You got to understand the cultural differences, especially in the language as it refers to language. Bar in her mind means she going to a booty bar. He was going to a booty bar, you know. And out here they call it the karaoke place, but they show all the booty, all kind of strip joint. That's what her mind. But she started giving him the drill. Mm-hmm. Where you going? You're going to meet girls. You're going to meet this, and I don't like this. Oh man, they went around the world with that. All because of his choice of language. All because of his choice of wording as he related to her. How do you say, well, I'm going to give you something to eat. I'm going to stop by this restaurant here. It's a restaurant and bar, same thing. He didn't say bar, but in her mind, she heard the word bar. Bar is like bar girls, women, whiskey, drunk, all crazy stuff, drugs, all kind of stuff comes in the Filipino mind. You got to be careful with wording choice. And like I say, Filipinos understand English, but sometimes their underlying meaning of a word is different from your underlying knowledge of a word, okay? A lot of times they'll say, well, I'm going to CR. CR is comfort room. Comfort room in the Philippines is what? The restroom or the bathroom. They'll say CR. They won't say I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to CR. I'll be right back. You say CR. What is that? But so those are the type of things you need to understand. Cultural differences can make or break your relationship. And if you're not up on their cultural background, you're going to have a problem. And you're fighting a losing battle. And if you want to be a winner, you need to take the time to understand their background. And vice versa, like I told you before, they need to take the time to understand your background as well. But a lot of them, as I mentioned, a lot of the Filipinos want you to understand their background, but they don't want to care nothing about understanding you. And you got to not force them, but you have to encourage them to understand, take the time to understand your background as well. Okay? Because it is a two-way street. It doesn't work one way. Communication is both ways. Okay? You have in communication, there is a sender and there is a receiver. Okay? Sender says, hey, I'm sending you a message. I'm getting ready to send you, and it's like in football. Matt Bryant, what does he do? He's a sender. He sends that football out. Okay, making a pass. See Julio said, okay, Mike. He said, okay, Matt, I see you sending ball. And he's sending it, and he's the receiver. He receives what he sends. He prepares himself because he sees Matt getting ready to throw back and throw one out. He knows where he got to be, and he receives the ball. That's when you have good communication. When you have bad communication, that sender is getting ready to throw the ball, and you don't know where. You don't understand. He's getting ready to throw the ball. You don't know where he's going to throw the ball. That's bad communication, and you have a drop ball because you didn't understand the rules of the game. You didn't understand the rules and understanding of the basic background between each other. Okay. All right. So what we got? Earl Johnson, where are you living in CB? Are you renting a house and lot? Oh, your place is very nice. Yeah, we actually buying house. My house and lot here in Talamban. Yeah, Talamban, Cebu, Philippines, which is in the Cebu. It's a suburb of Cebu City. It's actually in Cebu City, but it's a sub-area called Talamban. Our address is Talamban, Cebu City, Philippines. That's what it is. So we are in Cebu City. Ed Jackson, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good. Ed Jackson, make sure you got that best. I told you about the software you asked me about. You asked me about 3 different softwares for editing. All of those softwares I mentioned to you, They all have Mac versions. So you should look them up, find the Mac version. And there should be, now I think the Final Cut Pro is already given to you on your Mac, but I'm not sure. But if you're struggling with Final Cut Pro, there's some other software out there that are cheaper and much easier to learn. Okay. All right. So Eddie Earl says, see, especially verbal expression can easily offend. Yeah, verbal. And I'm gonna talk to you guys more. So be back tomorrow, because tomorrow we're gonna look at communication, two types of communication, and verbal, and then there's what? Nonverbal. And guess what, guys? This is going to be surprising to you. The nonverbal communication is twice as more important and more powerful than the verbal. Okay? Because it's not what you say that really matters a lot sometimes, but it's what you don't say. And it's what you say by your hands, and what you say by your head gestures, and what you say by your eyes. Yeah, these eyebrows right here, I'm going to show you what those mean. When a Filipino do like this with the eye, it means something. I'm going to tell you about that tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff, man, a lot of verbal stuff out here that if you don't know about it, you have no idea. And a lot of times the Filipinos will do those verbal gestures, and they won't tell you because they assume that you know, and that because they don't understand your culture, they don't understand that you don't know. I'm gonna give you one particular example of a verbal gesture that I did not know about coming here. Okay, so I was driving. I got a car and everything. I learned to drive, got my license, everything. I'm driving down the street, and a lady come walking in front of the car. I wasn't going fast, just doing normal, and she do one of these. I'm thinking she trying to say, hey, so I kept, like that, bump, bump. She kept right on walking. I said, what, don't she see me come? I said, Lisa, don't she see me come? What's wrong with this lady? He said, she didn't see the sign. I said, what sign? What are you talking about? She said, that sign means you need to stop because she come across. I said, okay. Oh, whoa. It's stuff like that, And it's a whole ton of stuff like that. Even when you're driving, there's more stuff like that. And when you're driving out here, it's the non-written rules that will get you. The written rules, half the time, Filipinos don't even follow the written rules of the road. It's the non-written rules that they follow. And so the same way in the culture here, it is the non-verbal communication that's more powerful and more meaningful than the verbal communication. And when you understand the Filipino lifestyle and the background and the culture, then you're gonna understand it. But see, a lot of you guys don't take the time to learn. You think just because they speak English, that means that everything you know about English they know about? No, not so. Because even though English is one of their national language, it's not a part of their original culture. English was given to them by the United States of America. The Philippines was owned by the Spanish for 500 years. And then after the Spanish-American War, we owned the Philippines, okay, for 40 years, okay? So 40 years of our domination of this culture, that's how they started speaking English. That's how they have a lot of our American lifestyle and things out here right now, because we own them. And that's why they're laws. We gave them their freedom. I forgot when, I think it was in the 70s. Anyway, we gave them their freedom. And as a result, they set their country's government up very similar to ours. So a lot of the things that are in America are very similar here, but they're not the same. And you need to take the time to learn the differences. All right, so Mantis, what's going on, man? Good to see you, good to see you. Judah J, if you're new here, go ahead and sign up, man. Subscribe to the channel. He said he used to live in Banawa and Talisay. Okay. But now there's Talisay here in Cebu. And I think there's one out there in Luzon. I don't know which one you was at. Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, man, I told you, man, I try to keep up with my subscribers, man, because you guys are important to me. And I make sure I say something to you, I back it up. And I want to make sure I can be helpful to you as much as I can. Jason, I was in Cebu last summer, and the prices for houses and lot was very costly. I may have to look around Talamban. You in Cebu? Talamban is in Cebu. So it depends on where you go and what kind of housing you're looking at. We bought a house on a lot, and if you buy a house on a lot, they call it a house on a lot. In the United States, we call it a house, which means includes the lot. Okay. Here they call it house and lot because sometimes you could buy a lot or just buy a house and then one not included. But they call it house and lot here. Same thing as a house in the U.S. It depends on where you go. Okay. It, overall, the housing prices is way lower than what you would find in the United States. No question about it. Okay. Prices are gonna be lower. Now, depending on the quality of house you want and the quality of the location, what the location you want, that's here in the Philippines will determine the pricing of your house. Now, right now, we live in a pretty good, I wouldn't say upper class, like I could say middle class, decent area. But most people here, the houses here value in about maybe 5 million peso range. You say 5 million, wow, that's a lot. Nah, when you calculate that to dollars, it's not that. It's not a whole lot. It's decent, but it's not a whole lot. So that's where the area I'm at. So if you're trying to buy a house here in the Cebu areas, less than $1 million, good luck with that. I'm talking about $1 million pesos now, not $1 million. $1 million pesos is not a whole lot compared to $1 million in the United States. But housing here overall is going to be cheaper than in the United States. And people out here, as far as when you get a house and you have a neighborhood, we live in a subdivision. Everybody's going to be your friend, okay? And people I mentioned to you earlier, the people in the Philippines are very, very curious people. Not only are they curious, but they're very, very community minded and community oriented. Everything you do here is treated like a family. It's us situation. It's not about you and then them and them. It's like us, ours. Okay, it's the I word that. It's like we, and they don't use a me word now. It's like we. Okay, and so whenever you move into a subdivision or a community here, everybody wants to know your what business. Everybody want to know you. Everybody come over to your house. Hey, how you doing? I noticed you just moved. My name is and what do you do? They want to know your business. What do you do? Where are you from? But you know what? When you try to ask them, they don't want to talk about their stuff that much, but they want to find out about you. And the reason why is they want to run around and tell. They're very gossipy out here as well. They want to tell you business to They like to be the first one to know it and the first one to show it. First one to know your business and the first one to run around and tell other neighbors, oh, the neighbor just moved in. He's from the United States. You know, that's how they do. You know, and when you understand that, see, a lot of us, because we don't understand the culture, we'd be offended by that. What do you want to know my business for? Please get out of my house. You know, don't come, get away from my door. Stuff like that. You gotta know where you're at, man. And half of the battle of living here is just knowing about this culture, understanding the differences, accepting those things that are different, and trying to allow yourself to deal with it. For those of you that cannot have a hard time dealing with change, it's probably not the place for you. Okay, this is probably not the place for you, because when you move here on a permanent basis, you got to adapt. You have to adapt to the system, or you won't survive here that long. And it's not that hard here, because I remember now, I mentioned to you that a lot of the values and a lot of the things here in the Philippines are American based, sort of. Okay. So that's one of the attractions of going or moving to the Philippines. Number one, they speak English. Number two, a lot of the things out here they admire as far as America's concerned. Basketball, yeah. These guys out here are huge basketball fans. NBA, yeah, they love LeBron James. They love all the big stars. They love them because basketball is the number one sport here in the Philippines. Yeah, they like soccer. They call soccer football out here, but it's not American football. Soccer is soccer out here. Soccer, the three main sports out here: basketball, soccer, which they call football here, and volleyball. Those are the three main sports out here. Basketball is number one by far. They got, like the NBA in the United States, They got so many basketball leagues out here. The main one out here is called PBA, Philippine Basketball Association, and there's so many stars out there in that league. So yeah, the Philippines is pretty much has a background of the United States, but again, there's a whole lot of variance in there, and that you have to know for yourself. If you come out here, please read up, take the time, go look at some of the videos I got. Go online, find a manual or articles about Philippine life and the lifestyles, and then you can come out here with some kind of understanding of what you're getting yourself into. You come out here just because you met somebody online and you want to hook up with her and all like that. That's okay. But that's not going to be what you do. It's not going to be lasting because you may not like it out there. And the reason why you may not like it out there is because you didn't take the time to understand the culture and what you're getting yourself into. Okay? And not only you didn't take the time, more than likely your female that you're or Filipina that you're visiting may have not taken the time to get to know your culture as well. Okay? So it's important, guys, that you understand what cultural difference is and why you should care. The reason why you should care, because if you're going to have a relationship with any Filipino out here, you have to know the cultural difference. And if you don't know it, you're asking for a hard time in your relationship. All right, what other questions we have for right now? What's going on, James? Jib Jam, what's up? Okay, Judah J says he lived in Cebu for 2 years. Okay, all right. How did you like it, Judah? And then what else we got here? What else here? Okay, I went too far down. Okay, Judah J says he lived in Talisay in Cebu. I'll correct me. I know where that's at. That's a very busy area, Judah, and you probably know that. Reclamation area, very, very busy, very, very hectic. A lot of traffic out there. A lot of traffic. I try to stay away from that area as much as possible because I don't like sitting up in traffic, burning up all my gas. But yeah, that's a nice area, but it's just a lot of traffic out there. He said, I was in school last year looking for a house. Okay. Have to look around Talamban. Okay. Talisay. Okay. Judas just says, what is the price for SM 5 mil per? I don't know what that SM is. 5 mil. 5 million is a good price for a house. It's not. I know some people that have a condo. I lived in a condo out here, One Oasis. That condo was tiny. It's like a studio, 1-bedroom studio. Everything was like punch right up together. And you know, I like space, man. I like a space. I mean, I don't need a whole lot, but more than what the condo was offering, and this was ridiculous. It wasn't like 4 or 5 billion for a studio, a condominium. I was like, no, I'm not paying that. That's when we first started looking for a place to live to buy. I looked at a condo, and then Lisa D said, I don't want no condo. It's too small. I said, yeah, you're right about that. So we started looking for a house and lot. That's when we came to Salamban. Judah J said, yes, they are very nosy and love to gossip. Yes, they do. They love to gossip. They want to know everything about you. And guys, when you come out here, don't get the attitude, my business. Who you think you're talking to? Don't do all of that. Please. You're showing that you don't know about the culture when you do that. Respect them. Say, okay, yes, my name is Bobby, and I'm from the United States. And I'm living here now. I'm married to my Filipina. And you have to explain yourself. You don't have to give them everything you do, but just give them some basics to shut their mouth. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. That's how you do. Be nice, man. You're gonna do better out here if you're nice versus mean and nasty. Okay, please get that in your mind. Be friendly. I know you like mind, and you guys said you don't want nobody knowing your business. Get out of my face. Who do you think you talking to me, man? That's not your business. Mind your business. But out here. People been in, when the Filipinos meet you, it's like they've been knowing you all their life. And that's how they do. They meet you and they greet you as a friend. And when you come against that, you're coming against the culture and they're going to think bad of you. Okay, I think I came down too far. Okay, what's up, James? What's up going on, man? Judah J said he's been following me for 2 years, over 2 years, girl. All right, man. I appreciate that. Long time. I've been doing this since 2015. So yeah, 4 years, man. I've been doing it. Got a lot of people been with me for a while. Thank you, Andy. Say God bless you, Bobby and Jim. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Appreciate that, Andy. Okay, Judah said he loved living in Cebu. Okay. Eddie always trying to pin me down, man. He said I live in $100,000 house. Man, come on, man. I'm gonna be like American. Mind your business. Yeah, man. But yeah, yeah, it is what it is, and it's not a big deal. We like it here, but there are better places out here that are better than this, and then there's somewhere way where you don't want to. You guys coming out here, a lot of people come out here, and they live Filipino style. In my opinion, you don't want to live Filipino style because you may not be comfortable with it. Filipino style, their houses are small, tiny rooms. They may have one or two rooms, and the area that the Filipinos live is not very clean. It's not very Filipino style. You gotta be rough. You gotta be tough for that kind of lifestyle. And I like a little bit of the finer things, a little bit as much as possible. So I wouldn't recommend unless you don't have the finances to live any better. Yeah, go ahead and do what you gotta do. But Filipino style, I can live way cheaper on much less than I'm living on now if I were to live Filipino style. Okay, but I just am comfortable with the lifestyle I have and that I had closest to as I had in the States. So I'm pretty much on that same level where I was in the States, and then you pay for it, and so it's not bad. Okay, Andy's going out for a bit. Okay, all right, Andy, holla at you. Roberto, what's going on, man? There's a lot I need to learn about the culture, but I love it in Cebu. Yeah, man. Just keep coming back, keep reading about it, keep talking to your Filipino, and you'll learn. Look at the videos that people offer here about the Philippines. You'll learn. Judah J square meter. What's your monthly expense like? Hey, Jackson, why you trying to pin me down, man? I got a video on expenses, cost of living in the Philippines. Check out that video. I think I did it. I did that for a while. I did that for about 3 or 4 years. I stopped doing it because it's like the same thing pretty much. But my monthly expense when I first got here, we first moved there. My first move there was like $800 a month. $800. Paid for everything. And at that time I was renting. And we rented at one Oasis. That was food, rent, transportation. I didn't have a car at that time. Transportation, everything. It's about $800. And then it kept going up, little by little. The year before, after it turned about 1,000, since this year, it's probably about 1,400 a month. Pesos. Dollars, $1,400 a month. It could be up more or less depending on how much food we buy, how many things we do, how much time we go out to eat, that kind of thing. So, but if it's just a single person, that's for two people. If it's just a single person, you could probably live very well and very decent off about 1,000, 800 to 1,000 if it's a single person. See, I budget. Lisa D is very good about the budget. And we budget together. We make sure we don't just spend money indiscriminately. We make sure that we know how much we're gonna pay for groceries. Note for the house, rent is already calculated. Transportation for the car, we know we have to buy gas. All of that's already included. So we know exactly how much we have to have now each month. Now sometimes that goes up, sometimes that goes down. Because the inflation rate here was very high. Last part of last year and up to about April of this year went down. Inflation was like almost 8%. Yeah, that's high. And everything was going up. Some things have come down now. Inflation is like about 5% now. So it went down a lot. So prices are leveling out now. So you have to keep in mind, you come in here trying to live off of pesos, you're going to be in problem. You have U.S. dollars. In my opinion, you can live off pesos, but you have to have a huge, good job. But you shouldn't be able to, when you come to the Philippines and live here, make sure you have some dollars. Yeah, living off of dollars, you can do it. You can live here really good. $1, $1 US, you get about what, 52, between 52 to 55 pesos, depending on the daily exchange rate. So you cannot beat that. I remember when I first came out here, the peso exchange, dollar to peso exchange rate, I was getting like 32, 34 bucks, 34 dollars per peso. And that was low. But now you're getting 50, 51, 52 per dollars per, and that's awesome. Pesos per dollar, rather. That is awesome. So you can't beat that, guys. The cost of living here in the Philippines for an American is very, very economical, and you are going to be surprised how much it takes you to live here. Not a whole lot. If you were living in the if I were living right now in the United States, how I'm living right now, I'd be easily paying about 5,000, maybe more than that a month. Yeah. Before I moved here, let's see, I was paying about 4,200, 4,200 a month, $4,200 a month. That was including house note, car, insurance, medical, dental, food, all that. About 4,200 a month. And I was struggling. actually, I wasn't really struggling. I was saving a lot of my money more than anything else because I had a goal, and my goal was to get to the Philippines. So I saved a tremendous amount. I lived off the basics, very, very basics I needed to, because I knew I had a goal. Most of my money was going to my 401k. Yeah, and I still got my 401k to this day. I still got a large part. Some of it I had to use when I first got here, because I didn't have a job out here, and I had to fall back, and I didn't have a business where I could get a lot of money. I got some money from some of the business I started, because they were just starting up. So I used some of that 401k to just get started, but now I don't touch it. It's just sitting there growing interest in stocks. In fact, get ready to move some of that money out of stocks. The stock market getting ready to kick crack the money and put them in some bonds, because they're talking about a recession coming up. All right, so where was I? So to pay a nice house, for to buy a house out here, yeah, you can buy a house. I have cousins here. They bought a house for $1 billion pesos, but it was one of those fixer-upper houses. You know, you had to go in there, and it wasn't in a good area. It's not in a good area, but it's one of those houses that they had to go in and fix, and buy as is. They bought it as is, and they paid $1 million. That was cheap, and they still trying to fix that house up. They've been here about 4 or 5 years now. They're still trying to fix the house up, because they didn't have all the cash. They live in there. I mean, they live in decent, but the house is still. I don't like to go over there because it's not that good. But yeah, $1 million is just getting in the door, man. You have to have, if you want a decent house out here, house and lot, you need to pay at least, I would say, between 3 to 5 million. And you're gonna find a decent one and a decent area. All right, so Roberto said that is very cheap, 800 a month. Yeah, it's decent, man. I mean, you can live out here cheap compared to the USA. Yeah, but most places in Asia and Vietnam is even cheaper. You know, and if you go to South America, where my guy Markel is, it's even cheaper than that. Yeah, you'd be surprised at the exchange rate between the United States dollar and the Colombia pesos in South America. Huge, man. Eddie said, sorry, Bobby, I was just too curious. I done my own research. Didn't mean to make you. Oh, no, man. I'm not uncomfortable at all, because I share that stuff in videos. It's just the fact that I got to share it again, but look at the videos. But I'll tell you, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm an open book. A lot of things you need to know, I can tell you. So ask your question. Don't feel embarrassed. If I act like I'm on the spot or something, don't worry about it. I get over it. I'm here to help you guys as much as possible. All right, so it's been a while here. Any more questions? I need you guys to make sure you're with me tomorrow, same time, same place. And we're going to continue this conversation regarding the Filipino and regarding the social, cultural difference And we're going to keep letting you know why it's important that you know about the Filipinos' cultural background. Tomorrow, we're going to take a look at communication, part of the cultural differences. Okay? Main 2 points of communication. There's a whole lot of different ways to communicate. But the main 2 types of communication we focus on are verbal and nonverbal. And we will discover tomorrow that the nonverbal is much, much more important than the verbal. Okay? So, for those of you that are here today, thank you so much for being a part of the show, showing up. And if you're inclined to, hit that super chat button. And if you're not, that's fine as well. Be back tomorrow, same time, same place. And this is Bobby D. Oh, forget when you leave, as we close this out, hit that like button. Okay, just hit that. It helps out the video a lot. That's it for now, guys. This is Bobby D saying take care. God bless and peace.